Yes, welcome back. This is Sports and Sorts, episode 191, and we are live on a Tuesday morning. Things have been getting all haywire and hectic over here in the Sports and Sorts Nation. We are going live a little bit later than normal on multiple occasions, because normally it's Monday at around 10ish, and today it's Tuesday around 10ish, and it happens to be 10:17. So, but if you want to get notified when we go live, hit that subscribe button, and also click that notification bell, and you will be notified whenever and wherever we go live. And if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. You can find Sports and Sorts anywhere podcasts are played. You can go to our social media, which is at Shane and Bryman on Twitter. You can find us on all our social media on our website, which is www.sportsandsorts.libsyn.com. And of course, my name is Shane Moore.
And I'm the Bryman.
And you can find the Bryman in front of your face every Monday and Friday usually, but it's going to be changing a little bit over the course of the next few weeks because I'm going on vacation. I'm going to the great state of Nebraska. I'm going to be then flying over to a whale's vagina. San Diego. I'm going to be flying there to I'm going to see my sister on starting tomorrow. She has a newborn, relatively newborn. I think he's about 9 months old now. Everett. I'm going to go see Everett and my sister and her husband and hang out there for a few days and go enjoy the sights and sceneries in Nebraska, in Omaha. And then I'm going to be flying over via Alaska Airlines, which is here a tremendous
Omaha!
airline. It's a tremendous airline. And we're going to be going to San Diego to hang out with Christine's college roommate, who they are very, very close. So much so, they had the same due date with their children, which is so incredibly weird, but also awesome because they're great people. So we're going to be flying over there and hanging out there for a little while. So we got that going on today. And we're also going to be talking about things like, I don't know if you can see on the post that I made, but we're going to be talking about the MLB trade rumors that are going on, Yankees, Eckersley versus Stroman. There's some stuff talking about that. LeBron James came out and made it official. I don't know how official it is. I don't know if it's real. I just saw ESPN post something the other day. It is going to happen. LeBron James posted this post that said, like, I'm so grateful and so honored to be able to be a part of this. I remember seeing this as a kid, but he's going to be in Space Jam 2. And then we also will have the Bryman's review for Toy Story 4. So we're going to be giving that at the end as well, because today, of course, we got a great show. So let's go.
You are listening to Sports and Sorts with Shane and the Bryman.
I want to just say lately I've been watching. I'm sure I'm going to get an eye roll here.
Uh-oh.
So this happens every year when Melissa and the kids go up to Maine, which they did last week, and they're back now. But for whatever reason, I don't know why.
Yes.
I love to watch. When the house is empty, when the kids are gone, it's quiet. I love to watch UFO-related shows, alien kind of shows. And
oh my God! Don't talk to my son.
You mentioned that you're going to Nebraska, and I'm thinking to myself, Nebraska's cool because Nebraska, from an alien perspective, is either the last place that they will ever be going or the first place they'll be going because of all the cornfields, right, and all the the crop signals and everything, and or it could be the last place they would ever go because it's Nebraska. But I have to tell you, man, I have just been watching a lot. Even last night, I watched like two more things like on Netflix, like these two documentaries, and I am so into alien stuff. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Like I love it, and like my oldest daughter loves it too. She's all into it.
I officially can't let you hang out with my son because he talks about UFOs all the time.
Has he seen any? We see them all the time out here. It's not even like a big deal. It's like nothing out here in Lebanon, dude. We see stuff at almost every night that we cannot fully explain, or that we can't just simply write off as an airplane. You can't. I've seen some stuff. Melissa's recorded some stuff. She's seen stuff at like midnight, dude. It's crazy. It's wild out here. It's like this is like a laser show out here at night.
Pink Floyd going on.
Well, I mean, so wait. So tell me about. So what? Cam has a little obsession.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
You should feed it.
No.
Why not? It's
Because-
completely real. I think anybody who doesn't believe in aliens is completely out of their
I
mind.
believe that there's things out there. I just don't think they're coming and spying on us for no reason.
I don't know. It really is crazy.
We're
Some of
pretty
these-
boring.
Some of these documentaries that you watch are really pretty fascinating. Like there are, and it's not like all the weirdos, and it's not like these guys it's not like tinfoil hat guys. I mean, there are presidents, multiple presidents on record who have said it's out there. We need to disclose it to the public. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. I love that stuff though. I don't know why, but like I said, like every week when they go up to Maine, like this, it's like alien watching week for me. Like, oh right, I just
It's like UFOs and Bigfoot and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so no. Okay, I'm not on the Bigfoot train. All right, there's literally never been like any evidence of Bigfoot. At least with UFOs, you have 4,000 plus different videos.
What about the woman who was feeding him peanut brittle?
I can't get behind the Yeti conspiracy, but aliens completely behind. I think you're nuts if you don't believe it.
All right.
Sorry.
So let's get into the first comment here that we had.
Most people will be like, I think you're nuts if you do believe it. But
For Damien here. I believe that there's something out there. I just don't think that they care about us. Like, why would they? And if they, I don't.
Was that the Damien comment?
No. He said, I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. That's what he said. It is one of his comments. But another one, the first one was, are you going to be able to catch a College World Series game while in Omaha? And this is my answer to that.
That's
hell no. I do not like any amateur sports, really.
That's not his thing.
College baseball, college basketball, all that kind of stuff. I played it. I do not like it. It is amateur, is what it is. There's so many mistakes. It's
amateur, man.
It is. It's so bad, and it absolutely. And that's why I hate people I have a real love-hate relationship with Gary Sanchez, and I don't really have a love-hate relationship with Gleyber Torres, but I have I get very aggravated with Gleyber Torres because of all the mental mistakes. And that is stuff that you're supposed to start to work out in college. And by the time you get to the pros, then it's just more fine tuning. And I can't stand the mistakes. Like, there's so many bad turnovers in basketball that happen, and so many just terrible mental errors that happen in baseball. And it's just so frustrating. So I don't watch it. So let's see right here. We had a dress as a meme day at the school, and I teach at, and I went to the History Channel. I went as the History Channel. I'm not saying it was aliens, guy. I was surprised how many middle schoolers got it. Wow. All right. Okay.
That's pretty awesome.
All right. So let's go. Let's get into this. Let's get into.
I love it. I'm not saying it was aliens, guy. The hair is just phenomenal. The whole look is just great.
I don't even know what that is. I am not even sure what that is. I wouldn't have gotten it.
I don't know the guy's actual name, but he may be like one of the ultimate meme guys. It's got to be like a top 5 meme guy just because of
I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
The hair, and I don't know I don't know his name.
I'm just gonna put in aliens
hair.
Guy meme.
Yeah, you'll see, and then you'll see him.
Oh my God, that guy!
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I mean, there's no way you haven't seen that meme.
Oh, I have, yeah, but I had no idea what it's from. Man, that guy is.
Yeah, he's great.
That's tremendous.
He's great. He's the guy. See, like, he's the guy though. That to me, that's the guy that that takes away any credence to anything.
Yeah, that's amazing.
There was one show on Netflix though, really quick, that I want to just say that I watched. It was the documentary on a guy. His name was Bob Lazar, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he worked for. He's like a pretty brilliant scientist. Somehow got a job working in a lab, and they immediately basically exposed him to. He was working on alien craft. He was working on the ship. And he was like, his biggest thing, and he doesn't come off as kooky, which is good. He comes off as very scientific and very factual and very normal. And his whole thing, he's not like trying to like crack you over the head with aliens are out there and they exist and you need to. His biggest thing was, and again, he came at it. What I liked was he came at it from like a very scientific perspective, instead of trying to give you the. For every grain of sand in the world, there's a planet, so there has to be more life. He was like, look, I've worked on these crafts. I know what goes into them. He's like, the biggest issue for me. Good job. He's like, the biggest issue for me is that we are not sharing this science with the world. He's like, because it's an unbelievable science that is light years ahead of ours. And he's like, all we're doing is like taking it apart and like trying to replicate it. He's like, but we're not sharing it. He's like, with the public. And that's like the biggest thing. Because the one thing he kept talking about was the propulsion system. Like the propulsion system on alien crafts is crazy. It's awesome, dude. I'm with Cam. Cam's my boy. You should not. Listen, man. Real. You can give me the Mulder treatment all you want, but it's real. I'm telling you
Mulder
right.
treatment.
I'm telling you right now.
All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into the actual show. We were really diving into some serious. What is that? Oh, here it is. Some serious. Oh, I had the volume way down because X-Files was blasting. So we were in the sword situation here. Now let's get into.
It's funny Damien should mention what he just said in his last comment. Can we spin off a new podcast from this where Brian Man just rants about aliens for an hour a week? Yes. In fact, Damien is actually kind of like a guy who I would love to do a podcast like that with, because he would come off as like the beautiful mind, thoughtful one, and I would be probably more like crazy alien guy. I'd be like, I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
That doesn't make sense.
I think it would be funny. I think it would be pretty great. And I would actually, like, I'd appear with, like, a tinfoil hat on every once in a while, or I would definitely have some kind of I believe alien shirt or some crap like that.
Inconceivable.
It's not inconceivable, though. Vicini. They're real.
All right, let's get into the actual show. MLB.
Aliens,
Yes.
They're real, and they're spectacular.
Edwin Encarnacion is an alien, and he is...
Kind of looks like one. I mean, Sam Cassell was definitely an alien. You know that more than anybody.
Dennis Rodman, Men in Black, right?
Yes, Rodman was, yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Cassell is definitely an alien. Come on.
Well, I mean...
And he didn't even do a good job of hiding it. Like, every description that you hear of aliens, it's Sam Cassell.
Poor Sam Cassell.
If you don't know who Sam Cassell is, folks, Google it, okay?
All right, let's get into this. Let's do it. We got to finally get into it. MLB trade rumors. Let's start off right with that. Unless you wanted to talk LeBron, Space Jam 2. Want to wait for that? Get into more on the movie side of things?
Let's do baseball.
Let's get into the MLB. We will start off with the MLB. We have... it's not really the state of the Yankees, but it kind of is. I'm going to do
It kind of is.
And then I'll do it all, right? All the
There you
MLB
go, just
stuff.
combine them all, yeah. It's sort of a potpourri, yeah.
So we have a lot of trade rumors that are going. A lot of trade rumors that are out there. Clint Frazier's name's getting thrown out there. Mad Bum's getting thrown out there. Stroman's getting thrown out there. And actually, you know what? Let's talk about that first. Eckersley, Stroman. Eckersley comes out and says about Stroman that his antics on the mound are tired. He doesn't think, and this is, I mean, we all know Dennis Eckersley, and I just want to read before we really get into it. I want to read what Stroman said. This is what Stroman said. He said, "I'm an emotional guy," Stroman told reporters in 2017. "I'm going to continue to be myself regardless of who doesn't like it, who likes it. I'm going to be myself regardless here on out. I'm emotional. That's how I pitch. That's what I pride myself on. That's what allows me to be the best out there. And that's how it's going to be day in and day out. So if you don't like it, it's okay." And that's what he said in 2017. This is something that he has always been known for, and it's something that Dennis Eckersley was always known for. I mean, he pointed at the batters.
Pointed into a roundhouse fist pump.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you want to be a guy...
He's a clown and a hypocrite. That's what Stroman says.
If you want to be a guy... See, here's the problem. If you're going to criticize what Marcus Stroman does on the mound in terms of his demonstrative antics, whatever you want to call it, I don't have a problem with that if you're a guy who's not like that.
Right.
But if you're a guy who was almost one of the trendsetters for fist pumping, pointing, on mound antics after getting a save, I kind of have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I really do. Also, here's the other problem I have. Eckersley was a reliever, okay? He was a closer. So he went in, 1 inning of work, he's doing his point into his fist pump. Marcus Stroman is out there for 6, 7, maybe 8 innings at a time, okay? Which is physically and emotionally draining, all right? He ran through the Red Sox lineup for 6 innings the other day in a Blue Jays win. All right. And after the 6th inning, he knew he was done. I think he had around 100 pitches, and he let out some emotion. I have no problem with that. I don't have a problem with showing that kind of emotion at all. And I really actually never had a problem with what Eck did either. I just don't like Dennis Eckersley being the guy to call out Marcus Stroman. Now, if you want to, Mad Bum could call out Marcus Stroman because Mad Bum is an old school man's man. He doesn't like batters posing at the plate. He just wants you to, if you take him deep, he just wants you to run around the bases. And again, like, I don't have a problem with that kind of thing either because that's who he is. But for Eckersley to be the guy, come on. It's crazy. It's the very definition of hypocritical. Am I right? I mean,
he called him clown and a hypocrite. I mean, that's what Stroman said, and it's true. I mean,
and he's right.
But I don't.
I mean, I have no
like
problem
this is
with
the thing
that
that I don't. And you would think that's. I mean, Damian said it. Kind of basically what we're trying to say is the Eck just is trying to rub people the wrong way. It's just in his DNA, and I think that's why he used the fist pump and point at the guy because he tried to get under people's skin to get them out of their comfort zone, and that's just what he would do. Now, I think it's just the thing that's crazy to me is that people are still talking about people showing emotion now. Like, it is something that people get excited for, and people, whether it's both sides, like, you have the people that are on the opposite side that are getting angry about it, because it was done to them. And then you have the pitcher or the batter who hit a home run or who struck out somebody in an important spot and who's showing a lot of emotion on the mound and going crazy. And they are, getting their team all amped up and their fans all amped up. I don't understand why it's still an issue because it's just excitement. It's just something that is actually lifting the game up a little bit and getting more emotion into it and getting people more excited for it. Like, I don't understand why. I'll never understand why people get so mad when you show emotion. Like, people don't seem to care when, Steph Curry rains a 3 from the hash mark and then has does the eyes and all that kind of stuff. They seem to like get fired up. Yes, you have some fans on the other end, like getting, swearing at him and all that kind of stuff, showing that kind of, but that's all about the emotions of sports. Like, it gets you have such highs and such lows that you have to deal with it and you have to express yourself. If you just keep it internalize it's going to be a boring sport. And like, I think that's the same thing with like all these games. Like, when you have Rafael Nadal hitting a winner down the line and he throws a big fist pump or he like slides on his knee, like it's just an exciting expression of just raw emotion. And that's fun. And I hate the people that are like, I was so like, I thought it was funny when Mad Bum was looking at, what is his name? Was it Muncy?
Oh, Max Muncy?
Yeah, when he was pointing at him, like, tell him to run around the base, and then Mac Muncy was like, hey, why don't you go get my ball out of the
Yeah.
It's like, that
right.
It's like, Mad Bum, you can have that. That's also kind of the other side of it. Like, people say that he's not showing, like, he's showing a lot of emotion and anger. Like, he just got taken deep. The guy isn't doing what he wanted to do, so he's telling him to hustle around the bases and stop.
Which I love. I mean, I like it both ways. Yeah. I'm fine with it both ways. But that's part of who Mad Bum is. I
would have been upset if Mad Bum came out afterwards and was like, he needs to learn how to run around the bases. Like, he did, but he did it to his face. So that's cool. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. But
he did. And I actually think Mad Bum was kind of okay with it afterwards. I think he somewhat respected the very humorous response from Max Muncy in the moment. Which is, but I have no problem. I have no problem with what Mad Bum did there, but because I also have no problem with what Max Muncy did either. And actually, what was kind of weird about that particular one, Max Muncy didn't really sit there and admire it that much.
I think Mad Bum was just mad.
Oh, he was just mad, and he
mad he
wanted
got
to,
taken deep.
and that's cool. And again, I have no problem with that. In fact, I love that kind of stuff because to me, I look at Mad Bum as a guy who will try to do anything to motivate himself.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, what people forget actually about that game is that after that, Mad Bum settled down and pitched really well in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like he actually shut the Dodgers down. I don't think he got the win that game. I don't even know if I actually want to say that the Dodgers did win. But Mad Bum actually pitched really well. I think he went 6, and I think that was the only run he gave up. So whatever gets Madison Bumgarner going doesn't bother me. But I just have a problem with this kind of thing where you're being called out by a guy
anything hypocritical is just kind
was
of
the same way.
It would be like you yelling at me one day because I swore by accident or something.
Yeah, that is the perfect analogy. If I said, watch your mouth, you fucking clown, that would have been like the most hypocritical thing ever. That's the only thing. That's the only problem I have with it. If Eck was kind of like an old school, serious dude, never did anything like that, I would not have had a problem with the criticism. Right. I might have disagreed with him, but I wouldn't have had a problem with the criticism at all.
Right.
But when you were that guy, and maybe you were like one of the trendsetters,
one of the pioneers, yeah,
I've got a problem.
I mean, you always had those. You have those moments in sports where people celebrate and stuff like that. It's usually like one of the biggest moments on the biggest stage that you would see like a lot of emotion let out. But like, yeah, he was doing it like 17th game in the middle of the summer.
Now, speaking of Stroman, so he's been the talk of a lot of trade rumors. He is going to get traded. It's not a question of if; it's a question of to which team.
Yeah. Before you go on, I just want to. Hey, Damian, post if you think that. I saw you post something briefly on Facebook. I don't stay on Facebook very long, but I saw you say something about like about there's a possibility of the Red Sox maybe blowing up their team a little bit like they did a couple years ago. So just let me know. If you can post a quick little synopsis of what you wrote, and then I'll put it up on the screen and we'll talk about it a little bit. Go ahead.
I kind of can't see that, by the way, only because they're like 7 games. They're well in the wild card hunt. I can't see that. Yeah. Anyways, as far as Stroman goes, so one of the big rumors, and because the Yankees and Blue Jays are not shy about being trade partners, one of the rumors is that Stroman could end up in New York. A lot of people think that's a perfect fit for him, and
I don't know if he said he liked the bright lights. Yeah, I mean
Stroman himself. I'm going to read a quote. He did not shy away from this kind of stuff.
Well, he doesn't shy away from stuff. That's his personality.
Here's what he said about New York. I love it. New York is like the mecca of the world, so I love excitement. I love bright lights. I love competition. I love pressure. So I have always loved pitching here. Even though I haven't necessarily pitched well here, I've always enjoyed it. These Yankees lineups are brutal. They are hard to navigate. I love the spotlight. I have always loved it. The bigger the moment, where I have always wanted to be. Wow. I mean, that's what, if you're a Yankee fan, you want a guy like that on the team. My problem with the Yankees maybe making a trade for him, it's primarily the fact that, well, one, is that really the guy that gets you over the top? I don't think so. See, I think
pitching really well this year.
He is, but and good for the Blue Jays, who will almost certainly capitalize on it in terms of trade value. Mm-hmm. They are striking while the iron is very hot, and that's great for them. There's a couple things that bother me here. One, he's not an ace, which is what I believe the Yankees need. He's not a guy who has been in that. See, in the last couple of years.
Come on, you're still not going to give me Mossy in big spots.
No. I'm not talking about Tanaka. I'm just saying the Yankees need another guy. First of all, we don't even know if Severino's coming back this year. And even if he does, the jury is 100% still out on him as far as postseason play. He's been good. He's been bad. It's been all over the place. Mm-hmm. Stroman, though, to me, isn't the thing. To me, I think they need an ace. Aces are not easy to come by in a trade market. And if they do come by them, they're very expensive. I know Madison Bumgarner has not had a great year. But here's the thing with Madison Bumgarner, and here's 2 other examples that I'm going to use, and this is absolutely, there's no science behind this. This is all about intangibles. Mm-hmm. But in the last 2 to 3 years, there have been 2 guys that I think a lot of Yankee fans have wanted at the trade deadline. Well, one certainly in Justin Verlander, but that was easy because hindsight is 20/20 because a lot of people thought Verlander was done. He was in his early to mid 30s. 32, 33, something like that when he was traded from Detroit to Houston. And then he became not only the Justin Verlander of old, but I would argue the best Justin Verlander version we've ever seen.
Quite possible.
A guy who actually, I think, went from fringe Hall of Famer to probably definite Hall of Famer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then last year, and I know this is going to sound silly, but I banged the drum. My brother and I had so many conversations where we were banging the drum for Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels was in his mid-30s. Mm-hmm. Everyone thought he was done. He got onto a contender, and he bloomed. Because that's what guys like that do. I'm not saying it will work for everybody, but there are certain guys who may be in a rut, maybe in a bad situation. They need to get away from where they are. They need to find a new home. Cole Hamels being in Texas was a complete and total disaster. Look, I'm not going to say I advocate for a guy not, or I completely understand a guy not pitching well in a bad spot. If you're good, you should be good anywhere.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's be honest. We've seen enough examples of guys getting traded at deadlines who regain their old form. And in the case of Verlander, he has not only regained his own form, he's like a better version of who he ever was. And Hamels, since the trade, has been really good for Chicago. He's been really good. And that's why if you're the Yankees, and Mad Bum is a guy that you want. You need to go for it. I know Mad Bum has not had a great year. I know it. I've seen the numbers.
4.3 ERA.
It's not great. But here's the one thing that gives me more hope for him, even more so than Verlander and Hamels. He's still only in his 20s. He's 29. There should still be gas left in the tank. I don't know how bad this motorcycle injury hurt him. I know that his fastball isn't what it was, but he was never
not
really
that far off.
But you know what though? He was never a fastball. That wasn't what he really used to get you out.
But yeah, I mean, so the shoulder is there was the shoulder that he hurt, and the problem, the way he throws, it seems like it's a lot of it might be
there's a lot of sling.
It doesn't matter. I mean, his stuff seems like it's pretty good. I just don't know how sharp it is right now, and I don't know if that's something that he can fine tune because his fastball is about the same as it was before he left.
Think about who Madison Bumgarner is. This guy has staked and built his entire reputation on being a legend of the fall. He is the ultimate post-game pitcher. Mm-hmm. He is now wallowing away on a team that sucks. And does he want out? I don't know. Probably. I would imagine he does because I would imagine he wants and needs to be in a pennant race. I think for him, October baseball is like crack or coke or heroin for a drug addict. I really do. That's his heroin. He needs it shot straight into his arm. He needs
insulin to a diabetic. Let's keep it PC.
Oh, I thought you were going to let me loose. I don't know. Anyway,
earmuffs.
But the bottom line is Madison Bumgarner needs October like we need water. Okay. It's just that simple. That is who he is. And there is no path to October.
He's a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
And yes, I mean, look at him. The guy's yelling at Max Muncy, who barely did anything out of the box other than hit a ball 400
Max Muncy's a pretty big dude.
He is a dude. I mean, that's not a fight that Mad Bum would have wanted either.
No,
okay.
I mean, Mad Bum's he's pretty jacked. I mean,
he's a diesel dude. He's a man's man. But Max Muncy would have kicked the crap out of him. Let's be honest.
We'll see. I don't know.
I love Mad. Nobody loves Mad Bum more than me. There may not be a bigger Mad Bum fan on the planet more than me. And I'm telling you right now, Max Muncy would have wiped the floor with him.
No, that lumberjack. He's got that lumberjack in him. Max Muncy would have punched him in the jaw, and Muncy's hand would have just broke. And then he would have just picked up his bat and flossed with it.
That is a man that you're describing there. That's Paul Bunyan-ish. But I still think that's the kind of guy the Yankees need. A guy with that sort of purebred, ace kind of stuff. Yeah. And I like Marcus Stroman. I do. I think it's actually Marcus Stroman's competitive fire that gives him a little something more than he may actually have. But if you had to ask me if I had to choose between those two guys, and maybe the asking price was relatively similar, I'm still taking Mad Bum.
Yeah.
because
Well, yeah, I mean,
there is just a much larger sample size.
you have to give a lot more for Mad Bum though. So
I think that's probably true, but I think and here. Oh, by the way, the second thing, and I know this is overrated, I guess, but I also don't love the idea of trading some possibly very good talent to Toronto and having that bite us in the rear for 19 games a year.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, we all know who that guy probably is. Clint Frazier's going to take his herd of cats to Toronto, and he will rake against the Yankees 20 games a year. You know it. He's going to hit the Yankees. He's going to use
Yankee Stadium as his personal litter box.
As his personal litter box. No, because he's going to crap all over us. Yes. That's a good way to end that.
But they have said they will not trade Clint Frazier for a rental. That's what they've come out and said.
Now, Stroman, I don't think would be a rental because I think he has another year of control.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I think that
he's got an arb year.
They just want to make sure that they can keep whoever they trade for long-term success. If they're not, they're not going to trade a lot of people for.
Here's the other thing too. Whatever happened to the whole idea of getting a 48 or 24-hour window to extend a contract? I mean, if you're going to trade a guy like Clint Frazier as part of a Madison Bumgarner deal, the Yankees have to have a negotiating window there.
Yeah. I don't. It's tough. I can't imagine Mad Bum with his mentality would even let that happen. That's the only problem with him is that he.
And that will hurt if he won't allow for that kind of thing. That's going to hurt his value.
Yeah.
Because then the Yankees should not give up Clint Frazier. If you're going to give up Clint Frazier for Mad Bum, I'm all right with it so long as you get a negotiating window and you extend him for at least 3 years.
Agreed.
If you do not get that, no, I'm not parting ways with him for Madison Bumgarner. I'm not. Go get somebody else. Go get somebody else who, again, and I hope that Cashman sticks to his guns on that. That if you're going to trade Clint Frazier, it's going to have to be for a guy that you get in return that's not only good, but who has some team control for at least another year beyond this. At least.
Yeah. I just hope that they don't try and go after Trevor Bauer. That's why I can't stand that.
I think that's a possibility. I don't think Mad Max is a possibility because that deferred money would scare any team. And as it is, the Yankees have an albatross of a contract in Giancarlo Stanton. I don't think you want to be saddled with that deferred money that's in Mad Max's contract. It's brutal. I mean, that's got like Bobby Bonilla disaster written all over it. I mean, let's keep in mind, Bobby Bonilla Day is, I don't know, I think it already passed, but Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid by the Mets.
Yes, he is.
Every year, still for another few years. It's not over yet.
I think it's coming up. I think it might be coming up.
The Mets should.
I think it's July 1st. I think that's when it is.
I think the Mets should celebrate the end of that with like a Bobby Bonilla head day with like a bobblehead and just the bobblehead just has like Bobby Bonilla holding like cash.
The Mets are having so many issues. The Mets are having so many issues right now. Now with Mickey Callaway, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And also, they replaced Dave Island, who was one of the better pitching coaches in baseball. The guy's actually won World Series. Mm-hmm. Okay, with John Regan, who might be older than God. He's 82. The Mets make it too easy. They make it too easy on us. They make it too easy on Yankee fans. They make it too easy on Red Sox fans. They make it too easy on everybody.
Except for Mets fans.
Except for Mets fans. Yeah, there is one thing the Mets have done right, I think, in the last decade. And you know what that is? Their beautiful stadium. Mm-hmm. That's it. Everything else has been a disaster for that team. Injuries, bad decisions.
Syndergaard can't stay healthy.
Bad hires. Coaches apologizing to players after taking them out of games. I mean, it's just, oh, my God. Yeah. The Mets are an absolute train wreck. And you know what? If I were the Mets, I know it's tough because they are in a bad division, which means they're somewhat somehow still in that race. If I'm the Mets, here's what I do. And I kind of can't believe I'm saying this. I get rid of Callaway and I hire Joe Girardi.
Ooh.
I just do it. Because look, you know me, I didn't love Girardi. No. But I actually think Girardi might
we both thought that Callaway would be good in New York. Like we both had said that we thought that was a pretty good fit. They needed somebody to kind of straighten out the clubhouse, but he's a little bit too crazy.
I think he needs to go. He is clearly showing that he can't. I don't think he can handle this. You really
I don't.
can't.
I think it's with the chaos with the Mets because it seems like nobody's been able to handle the Mets. Like I think it's with the upper management. You have like just the team and like the whole thing's just all dysfunction. It's just so much dysfunction, which I think is almost impossible to wrangle. And you probably would need somebody with that kind of credibility that's already handled New York, that's, won a World Series, come in and do it. You need that kind of pedigree at this point in time. Either that or you got to blow up the team and start from scratch. And I don't think they're going to blow up the team and start from scratch and then keep Mickey Callaway. I think it's more, one last ditch effort with somebody that's more, has the pedigree.
I would go after Showalter or Girardi.
Yeah, I mean, Showalter would probably get the job done, but I mean, for some reason, I don't know why, but Girardi, just that name when you say it, seems like because he was with New York for such a long time. And
I think he might relish that though. I think he would maybe enjoy.
I think he really wants to be. Everybody knows he wants to be a Cubs manager, but I know it's
not going to happen.
I know.
Probably.
I mean, Madden, as poorly as he has managed over the last couple of years.
I bet that's one of those things where the Cubs probably want Girardi, and Girardi probably wants the Cubs,
but they just can't right now.
But they just can't. It's like a relationship that they really.
Yeah.
It would be hard to justify getting out of it right now.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. Let's check that off the checklist, and then we'll get on to. We already talked Eckersley, Stroman. We talked some of the MLB trade rumors. Let's get on to. Let's just go right into this little thing right here because the Bryman likes to.
I'm going to sort it out.
That's right. It's time to sort it out, baby. All right, so we'll get into real quick. Talk about LeBron James. I mean, I guess I could. There you go.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's kind of, LeBron James, Space Jam 2, he came out, there was a post with, I think it was ESPN that popped up on my feed the other day and basically said that it's happening. It's happening. Filming's happening. We're going to be coming out with it. He's really excited for it. Are you excited for Space Jam 2?
Man, you talk about a sequel that's was this like 20 some odd years in the making.
Well, I mean, yeah, look at, you have The Incredibles 2, which took like 15 years to make. You have Toy Story 4, which there was a big gap between 3 and 4. A lot of these, that came out. Much later.
Suppose so. I suppose so. I think what I'll do is I'll probably show the first one to my kids because I don't think they've seen it.
Oh, my kids have seen Space Jam a billion times.
Yeah, I loved Space Jam. I loved the first one. I loved it. I loved the whole, like, is it okay to say? I mean, I loved, like, the R. Kelly soundtrack and everything. The whole I Believe I Can Fly.
Robert.
Robert. You're killing me with it.
Good times.
Man. I'm an older man who loves all women. Anyways, what a trig off the rails there. Yeah, no, I guess I'm kind of excited for it. It's kind of a Space Jam. The first one was kind of a movie, people I think our age sort of grew up with a little bit. Who didn't love Jordan? LeBron is basically this era's Jordan. It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I will definitely go see it.
Yeah.
So, here it is. Yeah, see, this is like Michael Jackson. Can you separate the man from the music? It's hard. It's hard to do.
I'm a little excited for it. I'm hoping that it's gonna be good. I mean, obviously, one thing that we do know about LeBron is that he is definitely a better actor than Michael Jordan. But I'm hoping that this is going to be good. I hope it's going to be fun. I'm just hoping that it's going to be fun. Stop it right there. Yeah, I know. Can't have too much. Can't have too much of Robert on the show.
Yeah, I think we could lose however many 2 or 3 people are actually watching. Oh wow, look at that. All
All right, so I think we're both kind of looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that it's good.
I'll definitely go see it.
I just hope that it's good.
Tickets.
I hope it's entertaining. I'm not hoping that it's like an Academy Award winning movie. I'm just hoping it's entertaining like the first one. The first one was kind of entertaining. I'm hoping the second one's going to be entertaining.
Do you think there's a Jordan cameo in there?
Only if LeBron refers to him as the GOAT, or like Bugs Bunny makes a joke about the GOAT.
Yes, they would be. I think they'd be bad not to capitalize on that. Here's my dream scenario for the movie. Right? Okay. They're in the big game against whatever. I don't know. I don't think it'll be the Monstars again, but whoever. They're in the big game at the end, right? LeBron goes down, calf injury, can't come back. Jordan has to come out of the stands to fill in and wins the game.
Wouldn't that be Kevin Durant? Wouldn't that be Kevin Durant that would go down with a calf injury?
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Somebody. LeBron goes down, and Jordan has to come and save the day. Jordan has to come and save the day. Mm-hmm. That's like my dream scenario for the movie.
That's something we should talk about when I come back from vacation. Is where do you think Durant's going to go? That's an interesting topic. Very interesting topic. There's a couple of landing spots. Somebody's gonna have to give him a long-term deal because 1-year deal ain't gonna cut it. You might not play next year.
No, he might.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the last one before we leave. Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4.
Give me your review. Let me know what you think. I want to know because the Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't seen the new rating for it.
Oh, it's like 90.
They all are like 98 to 100. All of them.
This one's right in there, and this one's right in there for me too. I mean, it's a very, very worthy addition to the Toy Story collection. It really is. It's a fun. Actually, so the thing that I was most worried about with this movie was because Toy Story 3. I think, as you know, I still cannot watch the end of Toy Story 3. It just, no matter what, the tear dots are triggered at the end of Toy Story 3. No matter how many times I watch it, no matter how many times I see it, no matter how many times I know exactly what's going to happen, it just never fails. And I was really worried about this being the case with this movie too, because everything you'd heard about Toy Story 4 was that this was a huge tearjerker, that at the that Tim Allen and Tom Hanks had a really hard time getting through the voiceovers at the end of this movie because they were crying so much. Mm-hmm. I will tell you what, though. First of all, I did not cry at the end. Mm-hmm. I think because I saw it.
Whoa. Sorry. Wow. Go ahead.
I think because I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I think because I saw it coming like a mile away.
Yeah.
And I think that prevented it. Toy Story 3 ending, I mean, even though maybe you should have seen some of it coming, here's the thing. Here's how I described it to my wife. Toy Story 3, without giving anything away for Toy Story 4. See, Toy Story 3, the ending of that, why that's emotional for me is because that's something you could really relate to that as a kid. Outgrowing a toy and eventually passing it on to someone else.
Yes.
That's a very relatable thing. Toy Story 4 didn't really quite have that sort of relatable ending to me, you know? But here's what I want to say about Toy Story 4. A lot of new characters. Bunny and Ducky are great. Duke Kaboom is fantastic. Even Gabby, as creepy as she is a really great addition.
Yeah.
And then like Benson, who was supposed to be like, and there's multiple Bensons, there's not just one, but basically he's like Slappy from the Goosebumps movie. He's like that really creepy, hand puppet. And then there's a few others too. Officer Giggle McDiggles or whatever her name is actually pretty funny. And of course the return of Bo Peep. And Bo's a really big part of this movie. It was more than, if you thought the part was going to be small, it's not. She's very, very integral part of the movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I'm not quite up there with the critics and maybe even with the audience. 8.5 out of 10 is still really good.
Yeah, I mean, might be the rating. It's just that, because it's a positive review, so that would be
extremely positive review. I still think the original Toy Story is the best. I actually, you know what? I mean, for me, in many ways, it almost kind of goes in order. of the way I would kind of rank them.
I don't know, man. That third one, it got so many emotions from
The
me.
third one is so emotional, and that's part of the problem for me. Is it's too emotional, and that like hurts it a little bit for me.
Oh, it doesn't for me. That was so great and so awesome at the same time.
There is something I want to say about all four of these movies, though. Off the top of my head, and this includes Star Wars, and this would unfortunately include even Indiana Jones. I'm not sure that I could say I've seen a series of movies that have been almost so equally great that, like, they're almost interchangeable in terms of how good they really are.
Right.
I mean, there's not necessarily one that is that much better than the other. I will say, too, cinematically, this was a thing of beauty. It was nice, and here's the last thing I want to say. It was nice of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse to keep the Best Animated Feature Award cozy for a year while Disney waits to regain it, because Toy Story 4 is absolutely taking home Best Animated Feature again. It won't even be close. Don't even bother. If you're trying to win an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature this year, you can forget about that garbage because it's already over. It's in the bag. Hanks and Alan have it wrapped up. And, of course, Keanu Reeves, who is everybody's favorite human being.
Ah, yes. Oh, he was in it? Keanu was in it?
He's Duke Kaboom.
Oh, is he? That's awesome.
He's the voice of Duke Kaboom.
I haven't seen anything. I watched the first trailer, and that's all I've seen.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to go see that on vacation. We'll probably see Spider-Man Far From Home on vacation as well.
Oh, I'm looking forward to Spidey Far From Home. Also, the Spidey Far From Home initial leaked reviews, phenomenal. Like from what I heard, the first half is good. The rest of it is unbelievably, ridiculously awesome.
Cool.
That's what I'm reading about it.
I like it. All right, so that's pretty much it for our show today. We're going to be taking we're going to be taking a long hiatus, probably the length of movies that they came out. You know how long it took them to come out. You know, Die Hard was spread over a long period of time.
You're talking about the Die Hard. Yeah. By the way, Die Hard.
Yes.
Christmas movie or no?
Yes.
See, I don't think so. Do you want to know why? It's pretty simple. It's not a movie that I want to watch at Christmas. It's not a movie that calls to me every Christmas. You know, there are like certain movies at Christmas time you absolutely have to watch. Christmas Vacation, Christmas Story, Scrooged, The Grinch. Die Hard does not make that list for me, and that's why I can't call it a Christmas movie. To me, it's a movie that takes place during Christmas, but it is not a Christmas movie. I don't think it is. I can understand the argument for it, but it's not a movie like I specifically seek out at Christmas time. Like November, December rolls around, like, oh man, I gotta watch Die Hard. That does not happen.
That's because you're almost like a Christmas purist.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean,
you've seen my house at Christmas.
Yes, I have multiple times.
A bit much.
I even dressed up as Chevy Chase from.
You really did.
I did,
and that was an unbelievable outfit, by the way. That was really something.
All right, so thank you guys for watching and listening, however you took this in. Like I said, I'm going to be taking a hiatus for, I'll be gone for probably 3 shows. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here for Friday's show, Monday's show, or
Damien, let's do
Friday's
an alien movie. Let's do an alien show.
I'm not going to be here for next Friday's show, this coming Friday show, the next Monday show, or the next Friday show. So we will be taking about a week and a half hiatus from our shows, and then we should be back the Monday after that, which is I think the second week in July. We should be back unless the Bryman has something going on, but we will figure out to get a show back on for you soon. And we appreciate you tuning in and commenting during the show. It was very nice to see some stuff from Keith and Damien. Always like to hear from you guys when we're on here.
Conspiracy show.
Yeah. What's that?
The Bryman Alien Conspiracy Show.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Conspiracy. By the way,
so you can find me on Twitter at EinhornIsFinkel.
AEW. By the way, just so you know, this year's Christmas party theme, plaid and bacon. Yeah, plaid and bacon. I mean, that doesn't mean you have to wear like bacon. That means you need to bring, or you don't need to, but bring a bacon dish or beverage and wear plaid of some kind.
I like it.
Yeah, that's a man's. It's basically the man's Christmas party.
I like
plaid and bacon.
I'll get some plaid on. I'll get plaid on. I like it.
The house is gonna smell of pork. It's gonna be terrific.
Whatever you wear to that party, you are going to need to take to the dry cleaners.
Yes, I actually like Damien's at Plakin, the Plakin party. Hashtag Plakin.
PlaidCon.
I like Plakin.
2019.
Plakin.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good.
It is. All right. So anything else that we have to talk about? Oh, website, www.sportsandsorts.libsyn.com. Check us out there.
We've come to the end of the program, and as the words of the great Tony Stark, part of the journey is the end. So we will we'll see you next time, which will be a little ways off, but probably next Monday. No, the Monday after that. I don't even know. What are we, like 4 weeks out?
It's like the second Monday in July.
Okay, the second Monday in July. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, we are on this is a hiatus. Bacon brownies. There you go. That's what Keith. I think I'm going to assign that to Shane. Bacon brownies. I trust your wife. She's a pretty good cook from what I recall. So I think she's brought some. I want to say you guys brought something.
She's a good baker.
That's even better.
Yeah. I am the cook.
Okay. Well,
I'm the cook.
Okay. I'll tell you what. You make the bacon, and she'll bake the brownies with the bacon in it. How about that? You microwave the bacon, all right, and then she can bake them.
Man, I get no credit for my skills.
I do like the idea of bacon brownies, though. See, that's a sweet and salty I would embrace.
I hate brownies, so I don't hate. I don't like brownies that much. I'm more of a cookie guy. I like cookies.
I like cupcakes.
Cookies are pretty good. They're pretty good.
I like this music. What is playing?
This is my elevator music that I have.
I like it. It's a good outro talking about random BS kind of music.
Like PlayCon.
PlayCon. Caramelize the bacon first. Oh, man. These guys are coming in with some heavy hits. They're not allowing us to
cook it with a little maple syrup on it. And it caramelizes, gets candied bacon.
No.
Candied bacon.
I'm not gonna say no.
It's good.
There you go. You make the candied bacon, and you then hand them off.
Instead of putting walnuts
to bake them in the brownies.
Yeah, instead of putting walnuts on it, you'd put the candied bacon.
This really is nice brunch music.
Didn't you see yourself just sitting on an elevator, just kind of like?
No, I can actually see myself at brunch and some, schmo playing the piano, and this is kind of what it sounds like.
Some schmo?
Yeah, some schmo.
No respect to the.
No respect to the piano player. Poor guy. Lives on tips.
Poor fictional character.
His giant wine glass. I'd throw him 50 cents.
All right. See you guys later. See you in a couple weeks.
Stay classy.
About 13 days. See ya then.
Avocado toast and Bloody Mary.
That's brunch. That's brunch for you.
I had a tremendous avocado toast egg thing at this restaurant called Snooze in Denver.
I will. How about this?
Avocado.
Before we leave, I'm just gonna say one thing. One thing only.
Yes.
If you're ever in our area, and you're in Westbrook, that area where the outlets are and stuff like that, and you're there for breakfast, as long as it's before lunch, go to Turtle Cafe. You will have the best breakfast you've ever had in your life. Turtle Cafe. We have a lot going on here. Beach donuts. And their coffee. Yeah, their flavored coffees. And then you have Turtle Cafe. Oh.
We have a great little place here called not too probably a few miles away called the Breakfast Place. That Breakfast Place it's called. And then in Manchester there's a place called Cosmic Omelet.
Yeah. That's cool.
Lots of alien stuff on the walls.
Well,
because they're out there.
If you're just staying in Westbrook, you can go to Turtle Cafe in the morning, and then at night you can go to Cafe Roudier, which also has the best French fries on the planet.
Jerry used to work at Beach Donuts.
Who?
He said I used to work at Beach Donuts.
Shut your mouth.
Shut the front door.
Wow, that's amazing. In Westbrook? It's like on the border of Westbrook and Clinton. I have to hear if this is actually where he went for work. That is great. And how many donuts did you eat? This can go on for 58 more seconds.
Good. Oh, look! Duke Kaboom.
Kaboom.
Canada's greatest stuntman. I didn't mess around. I didn't mess around, dude. Duke Kaboom. Is
All right.
legit.
Thank you guys for watching. We are out. Peace.
Stay
See you
classy.
see you in about 13 days.
Right.
Bye.